Hi, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to another session of Pajamas Party Pillow Fight Zoom show where we discuss about lifestyle, beauty, and fashion. Now, today's topic is about cornerstone wines and work from home fashion. My name is Elaine, and I'm a lifestyle content creator on Instagram and TikTok with the handle at @MsElaineHeng. I'm also the writer of this blog, www.mselaineheng.com, founder of Elaine Heng Image Consultancy, and I'm also an ex-beauty queen. Now, together with me is my co-host, Catherine.
Hi,
Catherine,
everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Oh, my name is Catherine
Yep.
Sir. I'm a founder for babamama.com. It's a parenting website, and also the principal brewer for kombuchamama.sg. Basically, I am a content producer like Elaine, myself, and also I love anything that's fermented and also anything that's food, food and wines.
Okay, so wine is definitely your.
That's up my alley.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, actually, Ken, you know what? Today's Zoom show is super hot. You know why? We have three very, very gorgeous men today with us.
Yay!
Really have
and two hot babes.
so many actually.
And two hot
Yeah, we really have
thanks, Jerome.
so many hot guys actually.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me introduce my two experts that we have invited. Okay, Jerome as well as Victor. Now, Jerome is a top fashion stylist and runway show producer in the fashion industry, and he works with international brands like Dior, Roberto Cavalli, L'Oreal, and style celebrities like Lady Gaga. Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay, and we have Victor. Now, Victor is a sommelier and a trainer with an international airlines in Singapore for over 20 years. He has acquired several wine certifications, and he has also emerged first runner-up for the inaugural Wine Specialist Competition in 2015. And last but not least, of course, we have our special guest tonight. He is none other than Mr. Clinton Ang, Managing Director of the Managing Director of the oldest surviving wine merchant since 1938, Hock Tong Bee. Now, since 1938, but guys, don't be deceived, he's not old at all, right? He doesn't look old.
How old is Clinton?
Yeah, that's why when the first time I met him, right? I think he's like probably early 30s. So let's all play a guessing game. How about that? Okay. So let's all guess his age now. Let's start with Catherine.
Okay, let me give you guys a closer look.
I'll pin you. 40.
40, okay.
Okay. Jerome, your turn.
I'll do 39, same age as me.
All right. Okay.
Jerome, you're 39? Really? Okay.
Jerome doesn't look like 39
Okay,
too.
I think Clinton is probably, well, since I wanted to go 39, but since 39 and 40 is taken, I'll go 41 then.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So, okay, now for the
Victor, you're supposed to be going down, not going up, you know.
Yeah.
38 is a little pushing it.
Yeah, you saw the laugh lines and all, right? Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to reveal his age. No, not I'm going to reveal his age because I do not know his age yet. So Clinton, for the moment of truth, right? I think you should reveal your own age.
Okay. I'm a big 47. 47.
Wow.
The wine is keeping you very fresh.
Yeah. I think you look too young to be a 47 though.
It's the wine.
I think it's very good, Clinton. Yeah. The lighting.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, Clinton,
You need to know his secret. The secret to keeping young and youthful.
The secret is all here, right in front of you. No other.
Just wine. Okay, all right. Now, actually, I'm like thinking, I was looking at your profile and it's super impressive. You joined your family business in 1997, but even before that, you were already very successful, having started and sold out several businesses, including property investments during college, while getting your double bachelor's and MBA on scholarship. And you're also one of the young business leaders from 2009 to current, and Singapore Tatler Top 300 2002 till now, amongst all your other achievements. So I guess in your line of work, right, you probably drink quite a fair bit. So share with us, what's your most embarrassing thing that you did when you got drunk on wine?
Okay, well, I'm sorry to be boring, but really, I've never actually been drunk on wine, because wine is it's an awesome beverage. It has history, it's got character, and when you drink, you get high on life and full of the spirit, and it brings you to this peak. And if you drink beyond that peak, then the marginal utility starts to go down, right? Just like in everything else. So you really gotta enjoy it all the way to its peak, which is subjective depending on your personal threshold. But like I said, like during the circuit breaker, I drink every day starting from 10 a.m. And it keeps me very positive, keeps me very enlightened. So I continue on this high, and it's awesome. And then I just go all the way up, right on that peak, and then I relish it. It's like nirvana, right?
So you always know when to stop. Is that right?
You have to, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you stop at 1 or 2 bottles, or you just like until you feel, I think
Very
it's
high.
high, and pick
Coming.
no more enjoyment from it.
Well, I think CV is a great period in the sense that because you can't drive, you can't go out, so you can drink without the consideration of driving. Basically driving. So once you enjoy them through the day, actually the alcohol doesn't really hit you very strongly. And then you can and with oxidation, you can allow the wines to evolve in your glass as well as in the bottle. And then through the day, you can even see the differentiation as the wine starts to live and oxidizes, to show itself. But more often than not, before dinner comes, that bottle is gone, So
So there's one bottle
on your own, or you will share the love. A very important question.
I do. I think my wife and my mom and my mother-in-law, they all take sips, but they take sips, I take gulps. So I'll be responsible for a good 80-85% of that bottle, I'm sure.
Wow.
Okay. I have a question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you drink, do you have any memories or any fond memories that come, especially with that kind of red wine or that white, or is it that certain label? Like for example, if you drink the CornerStone Ice Wine,
Yeah.
maybe you have a memory of like, you visited the vineyard. Something like that.
Absolutely. Oh, I tell you, there's so many memories. I mean, with wines, well, vintages comes to play because, like, if you drink a wine from a specific year that you maybe, you had your first major break, you got married, you had something special that occurred to you. When you drink that, you relish the history of that, right? Okay. Yeah. Or if the wines are made in Australia, maybe you went to school in Australia and you went to this particular winery and you remember that was an awesome weekend that you spent there. That's the great thing about wine. There is so much to share, and it's never ending. And it can live. So if you buy a bottle of, good wines, if you buy a bottle, for example, my birth year, which is 1973, which is a very difficult vintage by all means all over the world. But in Rioja, which is a region in Spain, one of the most famous regions in Spain, they make the best 1973, and I bought loads of it. So whenever I get together with my classmates, people from my year, etc., we crack open a bottle, and can you imagine, 47 years old, we are drinking history.
Wow. Okay.
Well said.
Nice.
Well said.
Yeah. Okay, Clinton, I have a question for you. Champagne, white wines, red wines, rosé, which is your favorite?
Oh, it has to be champagne. I'll tell you why. Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So, but beware, beware, because champagne will get you high the fastest. Yeah, because the alcohol goes through the bubbles, pushes it through your bloodstream, and you get pretty high pretty fast. But I'll tell you why I love champagne, because Sir Winston Churchill best said it, right? He said that in victory I deserve it, in defeat I need it. You know, so champagne, and I'm often asked, right, if I was to be alone on a deserted island and I only had one beverage to drink, what would I have? And a lot of people will say, well, the best Bordeaux or Burgundies or Rhones or whatever. But I would say it would be champagne, because champagne you can drink alone.
Okay.
Champagne you can drink from morning till night. And champagne, when you are happy, it makes you happier. When you're sad, it makes you happy.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with you on the last one. Champagne makes me very happy indeed.
Also, that makes you drunk very fast. So
yeah, that's true.
That I'm like dancing all over everywhere. So I really have to stop myself.
Yeah. All right, Clinton, what do you have for us today?
Oh, I actually brought two interesting bottles. One is the Seigneur de la Tour, which means Lord of the Tower, and the other one is the CornerStone Ice Wine. Why did we do that? Because one is for him and the other is for her, and I'll make you make a guess later on which is which.
Okay, all right, sure. Let's talk a bit more about the red wine, the Seigneur de la Tour. We start with this one. Okay.
Alrighty. So the Seigneur de la Tour is it's a wine from the most famous region in the world, and that is Bordeaux. That's where the famous wines of Petrus, Lafite, Latour, Mouton, Margaux, Haut-Brion, Cheval Blanc, all the most famous names of wines come from, right? And this is a wine that is made primarily of Merlot. It's 85% Merlot, 15% Cabernet, and Merlot is very acceptable to the Asian palate because it's soft, it's luscious. And then the Cabernet gives it a little bit of that power and the backbone. So it's a really great wine. There's a great story behind it, which I'll share later on. But I hope everyone will enjoy it.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Sure. Shall we try the wine then?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I'm thirsty.
I've actually been drinking it since dinner time, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me pour some out first. You know what, guys? Today is the first time I open a wine bottle with a cork. First time.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Most of the time, guys will open for me.
You should do a
I was
session
thinking.
on people.
Okay, let's do a toast. Elaine.
Okay, let's first. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Let's toast to the
everyone.
lifting of the circuit breaker and to good health.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yay.
It's quite perfumey.
Mm.
Do you get anything in particular on the nose? Jerome, your speaker, your volume is muted. Jerome. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Can you get
Smell.
anything on the nose?
Fruity. I know.
Oh yeah.
That's fruity.
It's definitely fruity, but it's
Yes.
also very floral, actually.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a bit of more red fruit over black fruit.
Yes.
A bit of violet and a tinge of spice, actually.
Yeah. So a lot of that comes also because it's primarily Merlot, and Merlot is a very perfumed varietal or grape.
Right.
So it really shows itself very well.
Basically, there are two types of bottles. You have the one that Clinton mentioned, the Mouton, the Cheval Blancs, the Margaux, the Haut-Brion, etc., etc. The classified growers mainly, and a lot of them are more Cabernet based, so they're very tannic, powerful, long lasting. So those are the kind of wine you buy, but you can't drink them straight away. You probably need a wine fridge or a wine cellar or wine storage somewhere in Singapore and keep those wine for minimum 10 years. Yeah. but there's another style of bottles that a lot of people do not know, and these are the fresh, very approachable, easy to drink, and it goes with a lot of our local food. I was just having it with my mom's chicken rice, and I put a lot of chili, and guess what? It goes well with chili, which is surprising for a Bordeaux. And that is really like what Clinton says, because of the high Merlot content. So the tannins are really, really very soft. So it's very nice. Thank you, Clinton.
Victor, you're making me very hungry.
Oh yeah,
I need to
you probably didn't have dinner yet.
This wine. Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
I also highly recommend that we taste the Seigneur de la Tour a little cool. So you put it in the fridge, you take them out, let it cool down. It shouldn't be drunk room temperature in Singapore, because Singapore's room temperature is different from to room temperature in Europe and in many wine producing countries. So when it's served at about probably 22 degrees, it's absolutely perfect. You shouldn't be drunk room temperature in Singapore.
And
I gave them all the tips about the serving temperature earlier.
Okay.
That's why
But thank you for highlighting to our viewers.
Wonderful. Ah.
Okay, this tastes like more dry. So
Yes.
I know that there's sweet wine and dry wine as well. So Victor, can you explain the difference between sweet and dry wine?
Okay, to understand what's sweet and what's dry, those wine terms, we need to first examine what is how is wine produced. So wine is produced through this production method called fermentation. So in fermentation, yeast is added into a solution of grape juice known as must, and the yeast will eat up the sugar in the must and convert them into alcohol or wine. So in order for fermentation to happen, the juice or the must has to be sweet. It has to be filled with sugar in order for the yeast to activate, to eat it. And if the yeast were to completely eat up all the sugar inside this must, this wine contains very little sugar and is what we know as dry. Yeah. So conversely, if the yeast only eats up about half the amount of sugar, and so this wine contains a lot of sugar, right? So this wine is what we call a sweet wine.
Sweet.
Alas klar?
All right. Yep. Okay. Question for Clinton. So how do you source this wine, and what's the rationale, strategy behind this?
Oh, okay. Great question. We've been in business for 82 years, and obviously, it's like the typical business is you represent agencies and brands, and then you buy and sell, and you domestically as well as regionally, as we do in 28 countries. But one of the most enjoyable things, and still gives me the adrenaline and drive today, is sourcing. So I travel every year trying to look for the gems, So I try to look for, because in the wine world, there are so many brands, and there are many of these big brands. But big brands they're okay, but because they're big brands, they put a lot in marketing. So I dare say a lot more of their marketing seems to be better than a wine. So you need to look like where beer has gone or gin has gone, into the craft world, into the boutiques, into the independents. And I travel every year trying to find the stones that will become the gems. So like this Seigneur de la Tour, when I found it a couple of years ago in like 2017, when I tasted it, it was pretty much an unknown wine. And I tasted it and I felt that the grapes were of the right maturity. It was very good grapes that for the price that you could get, and a very good quality price ratio. And the winemaker did a great job because he integrated it very well. Good balance, good aromas, good acid, good tannin, and it has a bit of that toasty smokiness on the palate, which is induced because they put little stars in there, which are little wood chips, and then they smoke it at a medium toast level just to give it that smokiness. Things that you find really only in like $100 bottle, right? Rather than a $39.99 bottle. So that's how it is. And after I tasted it, I told him, I said, okay, I'll buy 6,000 bottles from you. And lo and behold, after about 6 months, it received 5 gold medals right?
Wow.
And it
Wow.
was sold out. So really the key for me and what still keeps me excited today is the fact that I can find stones that will become the gems.
So can we safely call you the wine scout, like how the football scouts are, you know, in America, like they spot all the young up and coming ballers. So we can call you the wine scout.
Or maybe some other people will call me like the truffle pig, you know, the pig that goes out and just looks out for the truffle and does all the dirty work. But at least with the pig, he gets to eat the truffle. So like me, I get to drink the wine. So maybe I'm more a truffle pig than a truffle dog, you know, because the dog doesn't get to enjoy the truffle.
Somebody who groom the wine. You know good wine and you groom it, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
By the way, Clinton, congratulations to all the medals.
Oh yeah,
that Seigneur de la Tour has won.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we try to do our best, and more often than not, you know, we're pretty good. I mean, I've been tasting wine since I was 7 years old, and my father taught me how to taste the soul of the wine and to be able to find the best wines when they are stones that will become gems. And you know, it's I guess it runs in the family. And it's a great pleasure to do it. You know, what better job than to go around the world and taste wines and try to find the stones that become gems.
Okay, one question I want to ask you again, another question. So you were 7. So how did your dad give you? Did he like ask you to sniff, nose it, or you know, like finger, you know, sip a little bit? Nah, son, this is for
actually,
you to
it's a really good question. It was a tough one because I'm the youngest in the family. I'm the youngest of 4. So during dinner time, because my 2 older brothers would always be the ones who my father would train, and I would sit on the baby's table, you know, like the kids' table. And then when I was 7 years old, when my dad would always have a bottle of wine on the table and he'll talk about it, I came onto the table, I took my father's glass and I drank it. And then after that, I fell on my face and went to sleep. And then after that, my dad, I said, I think you better let him taste, and because if not, he's going to do that again. So that's how I started. So yeah, my dad would tell me, hey, look at the color, look at the rim, look at the robe, smell, that's your primary aroma, smell with a swirl, that's your secondary aroma. Then when you drink it, you feel the acid, the tannin, the fruit on your palate, and then the length of the wine and the finish. So you could say that I grew up with a lot of on-the-job training. I'm not so professional like Victor. I'm
no, don't say that. I'm sure.
You know, so you know, on the job.
Wow, since 7. Okay, now let's move on to the next wine. Clinton, can you introduce this to us as well?
Okay, so the next one I have is actually a CornerStone Ice Wine. And it's really awesome because in 1997, I launched my own brand of wines, which is called CornerStone. And today we have 20 plus different kinds of CornerStone. And we realized that we really didn't have a product for the ladies. So we did a research, and we found that ladies love something a little bit sweet. And at a point in time, there was a big trend into ice wines. So when I asked a lot of my lady friends, they said, ice wines are awesome, we'll have a glass. But the problem with ice wine is 1 glass in your mouth, because of its high residual sugar levels, forever in your hips, because it's very high in sugar.
Yeah.
So I decided
we don't want that.
Yeah, exactly, right? None of us want that. So I decided to make an ice wine that had all the components of your typical ice wines from Germany, Austria, but significantly less residual sugar. This is only 25% of the normal residual sugar that you get in the typical ice wine. So you find that
what's the normal amount of sugar for the normal ones?
300 to 400 grams per liter.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a lot of calories.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We need to go gym after that, right? Yeah, but this one you don't need to drink.
So it's very funny. So when I asked them again, they said, well, you know, it has to be sweet and hopefully a diet version of it. And the key thing was they said the bottle has to be very beautiful. This is a very sleek bottle with a nice capsule, and they loved it. It's something that you can show. It looks like perfume, and really on the nose, it smells amazing. It smells like perfume, and on your palate, it has all the lovely components. And then I'll tell you a little secret later on.
Later on, okay.
Yes, later
You
on.
remember that? You remember that? Okay, Victor.
Shall we try the wine?
I tried some.
Already finished half.
But I
Jerome,
think this is Jerome's wine, definitely. Jerome will like this kind of wine. Oddly, Clinton, you were just saying that, you know, we would like a certain style of wine. I think you might be wrong, actually. Yeah. So I think the beauty of this wine is really a lot of it is both on the nose and on the palate. It's so perfumey. You get so much flowers and fruit, honey.
I have a question. What is the best temperature to serve ice wine? Must it be below 0 or no need?
Oh, no. So ice wines are like white wines. So they are to be served probably at about 18 degrees is a good temperature. It cannot be too cold because then the wines will close. And then the flavors and the aromas won't come out. So it has to be the right temperature. So like red wines, you serve them at like 22. And then for dessert wines, it should be like 8 degrees, 8 to 10, 12 degrees, depending on how you like it, right? Then it has got that perfect balance for the aromas, the alcohol to show, as well as on the palate, the fruit acid balance.
Do you take this for your breakfast? I can imagine this with like a nice scrambled eggs and bacon. Oh my god, those would be quite beautiful. Actually.
Wow, you got it right,
bacon with this.
Okay, so let me tell you the secret now.
Okay.
So when I said that one is for him and one is for her, right? So actually the red is a bottle for the ladies because it is bottled for the ladies to buy for your loved one. Because it's a great wine that you could have. It's got 5 gold medals and it'll be great to just start drinking and enjoying it together, right? Okay, so for the men, remember this and remember you heard it here. The bottle of CornerStone Ice Wine, you got to buy it, give it to your loved one. You take 2 tablespoons of it, put it on vanilla ice cream, give it to your loved one, ask for anything, and it shall be given.
Anything.
Anything, yeah? Okay. Okay.
Even a
then
birkin?
don't fall for the trick. Yeah, Jerome,
I don't think so. Probably not a Birkin.
Okay.
A cargo load or a crate of it.
Okay.
There's a lot of apricot, honey. Yeah, it's raised. Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I would obviously pair this with a dessert, like a light dessert, because this is not your sultans
That's right.
ish kind of a sweet wine. This is like the diet version. So maybe like a cheng teng, or do you know what's an ai yu? You know those ice jelly? Yeah.
Oh, so it's very light kind of dessert. Yeah.
That's right. That's my recommendation. Yeah.
I have a question for the wine guys, okay? I
Mm.
read somewhere, I think last year, one book, it says that when you harvest the grapes for ice wine, it has to be below a certain degree, below 0 degrees, but I'm not sure what is minus 13 or something, so that when you harvest it, your hands will not melt the ice in the frost in the grapes. Is it true?
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, very good. You've been doing your homework.
About wines, so I'm like not very sure what to do.
But you know, the best homework in wine is to keep drinking. That's the best homework. Okay. Okay.
And that's the reason for this show, Clinton. Yeah.
Coming back to your question. So essentially, yes. So the ice wines of the most famous ice wine producing countries in the world are Germany, Austria, and Canada. So with these places, they get very, very cold. So you need to get that minus 13 or so to get it. It needs to be pretty solid. Then when it's crushed, what we call the creme of the liquid comes out, right? But in places like this is actually produced in New Zealand.
Yes.
And in New Zealand, sometimes you get that kind of temperatures and sometimes you don't. So this is produced with a cryogenic method, which means that if it gets down to 0 degrees, it's still not hard enough to be able to crush. So it has to be harvested, and then the additional process of putting it to freeze it down so that they can crush it and get the same style, right? And that is why you don't get that much of that concentration and that viscosity and that lusciousness, but you still get a lot of it, right? And that's why I say this is the diet version, because it's something that you can drink and you can drink glasses of, and you don't worry about it growing too much on your hips, so to speak, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for this wine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
By the
Now
way,
we-
just a show of hands,
Mm.
if either you prefer the red wine or the white wine today.
Okay,
Wow.
let's start with
Okay,
red wine
if-
first.
Okay, if you prefer the red wine, yeah,
Hands up.
put up your hand. Okay, if you
Perfect.
prefer the white wine, put up your hand.
I think for alcohol, it's not about preferring. I think about
Yeah.
different occasions
It's your-
call for different
Oh,
wine.
absolutely.
Yeah, for me, that's how I like drink. But it's like not like okay, maybe when I'm at home, then I don't know if I'm like alone or just I want to drink, then it would be my preference. But I rarely have any preference. But it's all called like the occasion call for something, you know, call for like a red or champagne or white. This one tonight is really, this one is really, the ice wine really is very good because I used to like ice wine.
Yeah.
I stopped because it's very sweet, and then
Yeah.
it's like it's really like a
Because you
dessert.
got very fat, basically, right?
Yeah.
That's why you
It's like cannot stop. It's like that. It's
That's why
like
you
cannot
stop. And,
stop.
oh my God, it's ice
Yeah.
wine.
So then now that I found this, I'm like I can go back to ice wine again.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Congratulations.
Once a week, Pat. Once a
Mm.
No, I like the red, but it's just
Mm.
I have a tendency to like the white, but the red I think is very smooth, very delicious. I can taste the spiciness,
Yeah.
and I can taste it a bit dry, but it's not dry where you feel that you know you're a bit repulsed by it. It's still a very like.
Exactly.
I just want to eat it with like char kway teow.
Oh, you
Somehow.
could.
Yeah, something oily, greasy, and then use this to wash it down. I think that's it. That's
Exactly. Exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Victor, I remember you wanted to know about the range of wines in
Oh
CornerStone,
yes,
right?
that's right.
Yeah. Can
That's
you?
right.
Yeah. Mm.
Clinton, what is the range of wines Cornerstone sells? Is it skewed towards New World or Old World? And then what about the price range? Is it budget friendly, or is it like oak cellar kind of pricing? No offense.
Okay, well, really good question. Well, first of all, I'm not going to rag on an industry colleague, okay? So they've got their own way of doing business. Cornerstone is actually affectionately known as, I mean, our historical company is Hock Tong Bee. We're the oldest wine merchants in Southeast Asia, founded in 1938. And because we're family business, for us, everything is about being on the market. So, you know, we really are a one-stop solution. We have everything, both wines and spirits and whiskeys and champagnes and everything. From the entry level, I mean, in wines, we have it from $15 all the way to $50,000. And we cover Singapore and in 28 countries in the whole region. So, I mean, it's amazing, and we believe in delivering value. Like I said, you know, like this bottle, it's normally priced at $39.99, and occasionally we'll do, and sometimes we get offers, and even on offers, it'll probably be like $24.95 or $29.99. But today, especially for Elaine and Catherine, we're going to do something really special for you. But really, we are a one-stop. We're really trying to build what we can in making everyone in Singapore and the whole region high on life and full of the spirit and not burn their pockets, right? You drink, you pick a wine to fit every occasion, to fit every pocket, and Cornerstone would be it, because www.cornerstonewines.com, you will find everything that you need.
Well, you are a really good salesman, Clinton. Thank you,
Jerome?
thank you. Yes.
Okay, over to you, Jerome. I know you like to party, right?
Yeah.
So you like to go to like house parties and all. So I think you have a question for Clinton as well, right?
Oh gosh, what do I have? I always want to know. I forgot about the question. I'm only very curious. What do you actually drink for breakfast? No, you say drinking from. I'm like,
well,
he's drunk.
I dare say that on a normal basis, I probably don't drink at breakfast, but probably at brunch. And brunch starts
what
with...
do you drink? Champagne or white wine or your ice wine?
Oh my God, champagne. Champagne at brunch. Yeah, champagne brunch is the best.
Yay.
It revs you up and then keeps you going. And then at about 3 o'clock, it then starts to settle down. And then you're ready for some glass.
Okay, there are so many champagnes in, which is your go-to champagne? Because actually champagne also tastes different. There are some that are really smooth and some are just a little bit more bubbly, some are a little bit more dry. What is your personal favorite?
Well, actually, okay, so champagne is, first of all, champagne is méthode champenoise, which means fermentation in the bottle. They're actually, when I say champagnes, firstly, I should classify as drinking sparkling. But of course, if you can drink champagne and want to spend that money and stuff like that, then you're welcome to. But there are also very good sparkling wines. You could drink Cavas, which is méthode champenoise from Spain, and it's very good value. What is now very popular in the sparkling category is Prosecco. Prosecco you can find for $20. And you can drink that. So the key thing is the bubbles. The bubbles just put you in the right mood. It puts you in for the right occasion with friends. You drink it cold, you drink it fast, and everyone is high on life and full of spirit. So that's the way. If I could start every day drinking sparkling and champagne, I would.
I think it just solve the family disputes. If everyone starts to get a bit PPP at home, just open a bottle of Prosecco and just give them one. So everyone starts to be smiling at home for morning.
Upgrade, Jerome, upgrade. Go from Prosecco, go to champagne.